Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another one of our weekly My Dress Up Darling discussion videos. As you can see, things look a wee bit different. I don't know if the Dress Up Darling videos saw the new setup or not. I don't remember. So, if not, here's what they look like. It's because of Japan possibly taking content creators to small claims courts, and I don't want to get in trouble with that. Still going to show screenshots for the rest of this anime season, but going forward, the whole video will look like this. Yeah. Also, Stella's here. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Stella. How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing good. Okay. I'm not doing okay. Fuck TikTok. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. There's a reason for that. TikTok is dumb, but that's a video for another day.
That's a video for another day. I just how I'm feeling today.
Yeah. Anyway, here's your gold star for hitting the like goal last week. Here's your gold star. Nice. If you want the next one though, I'm gonna need to see 200 likes on this week's video. I'm afraid so. That's the way it's got to be. This week's video's got to hit 200 likes before the next video comes out. Otherwise, no gold star. But with that said, let's go ahead and talk about episode 9, shall we?
Yeah.
So this is a very, I think every time we say this, it's never true, but I do think this might be a shorter video. But that's not to say that we didn't like it, because honestly, this might be one of my favorite episodes in a while. This was a really fun episode.
It was. You know, we opened up with essentially Marin being a little shit.
Yes. Marin is very much like becoming aware of the fact that Gojo is kind of, I wouldn't say Gojo's a perv, but that Gojo is like responding to things that she's doing, you know, like Gojo is, as the episode title says, like a lot of things happened after that photo, you know?
Yeah. Like she absolutely knows. And it's not that he's being a perv, it's just he's being a teenage boy.
Exactly. He's being attracted to Marin, right? And Marin is taking I don't want to say taking
that and running with it.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't necessarily want to say taking advantage of that, but she is absolutely taking it and running with it. Which is hilarious, but also cute, because like when she's like, oh, Gojo, you perv, right? Like you could tell she's like, this is really cute, right? Like she's like, this is hilarious.
Just Gojo, you perv.
Yeah, she's like, how could you, right? Like,
how could you? How could you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know, I don't know.
It's cute. Like I was like, this is actually funny. Yeah, like I thought it was funny. And they like to jump ahead a little bit. I guess we'll spend the beginning just talking about how much we like the Gojo and Marin stuff, because Marin like doesn't do a whole lot this week. It's a surprisingly like very like Marin light episode. Like she's in it, but not a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
But when she is in it, she's great. But what I love is that even when she's not around, Gojo is like thinking about her, right? There's the scene where Gojo and Shinju, who is amazing this week, but Gojo and Shinju are like talking about how people have like a lot going on that, you know, that you might not know about, and you might think people have it like all together, and in actuality they're also struggling in ways that you might not know, right? And he talks about how when he met Marin, he assumed that she was this like cool gyaru who like knew exactly how like she had to handle certain situations, that she had it all together, that she had everything figured out. But you know, Marin's Marin. You know, she's a lovable idiot, and she doesn't have everything figured out. And when Gojo found that out, it actually made him more endeared to her. And I'm pretty sure that he calls her straight up cute. And then, or no, he doesn't call her cute. He calls her something that catches him off guard, and he realizes what he said.
No, he does. You know, like he says something along the lines of, like, that's what I think is cute about her, or something like that. And when he says it, he's like, oh.
I didn't mean it like that. Yeah. But you know, Shinju, she's a middle schooler, so she's like, I have no idea what we're talking about, right? Like, she's like, you are saying things and I'm not connecting what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it is cute, right? Like, cause it's nice to see that like Gojo thinks about Marin all the time, right?
Yeah.
In the same way that Marin thinks about Gojo all the time. You know, like, if I might again reference Sasaki Miyano, which I feel like I do a lot in these videos, in Sasaki Miyano, there's a lesson that one of the characters imparts that when you really start to care and love someone, it's impossible to get them out of your head. Like, once somebody's living rent-free in your head, probably means you like them. And I feel like at this point, we've seen Gojo and Marin, like, constantly thinking about each other, even when the other character's not around, you know?
Yeah.
And it's cute. I love it. I don't know. I just love Gojo and Marin. They're like my favorite
I
ship.
do love Gojo and Marin because their relationship is really wholesome. And it's very lighthearted and cute. Like, she does tease him.
Yeah.
But I think this is part of the reason why, like, in this show, the fan service doesn't necessarily bother me, is because of the fact that, like, she does it to be a little shit, and it's really funny. You know, like this, like, never mind.
What?
Nothing.
What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Anyway.
I'll just say sometimes I'm a little shit too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway. Moving on. But yeah, it was, I think, the Gojo Marin stuff's great. And we loved it, but I think the big star of this week's episode, which is funny because I never would have anticipated she'd have a episode to herself.
Yeah.
Is Shinju, who was great. She was super great this week.
I love Shinju.
Yeah, she was great.
Goodness. She was great. I mean, we start, like, after the whole Marin scene, right, with Marin and Gojo, we're now, like, they get into the cosplays, you know, like, we're at the shooting place, and they're like, where's Gojo and Shinju? Where are they? Right? And I think, okay, first, like, before we get into Shinju, Marin and Juju's interaction, so cute. It was really good. It was really cute. I'm just gonna say that. Also back when they were back at Gojo's place and they were trying on the cosplays, and like Shinju was, or not Shinju, but Juju was like, oh yeah, like saying like, oh, like if I just wear like a more like stiffer skirt or petticoat underneath, it'll give that flair, and I already have that. And she was like talking about it like as it, you know, like she knows what she's talking about. And Marin's like, yeah, like this is cute and this is cool, and like these thingies on my shoulder, those are awesome.
What was she saying? Like, it was like super awesome, super duper awesome. Yeah, like super awesome. Super cool, super rad, super duper rad. Yeah, I was like, oh. Well, and then the arigatou gozaimasu. Or what does he say? Like, he says something, like, the way Gojo responds is like, arigatou, right? Because he just says it like, you didn't have to try that hard. Yeah.
And Juju's like, you know, you don't have to.
You don't have to push yourself. And then Gojo just like, thanks. Right?
Like, to her, she's like, you know, it looks like the thing. I don't know anything about it, but it looks like it. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks like the character. Yeah.
Looks like the character. Yeah. But then when we get to like the shooting place, right? They're wondering where Shinju and Gojo are. They're wondering where they are, and you know, then like they come out, and we get like a. But then it cuts back to a flashback.
Yes, the flashback, where we find out that okay, what I thought the twist was going to be was that Shinju was the crossplayer that they had seen on Marin's phone, right?
Yeah.
That the crossplaying person was actually Shinju. That's not the twist.
I felt like Shinju was going to be a crossplayer, though.
We did, you did call that a while back.
I called that because like, okay, because the reason is this is my knowing anime, knowing cosplayers. You know, she got a bit of, you know, a chest, right? Like just a little bit. I don't want to call it a rack because I'm like, she is like 14. You know, she got a little bit of baggage on the front of her, and when she's like, oh, I don't feel like I'd fit to this character and all that stuff. Like, it could have easily been a female character, but there's also lots of female characters who have body types like her. Like, I even mentioned when he was doing like the measurements and everything, I was like, oh wait, Like, or like she was trying on like his uniform that like I'm like, oh, actually she'd be a great Mitsuri cosplay from Demon Slayer if she was to cosplay like a female character, right?
Yeah.
But like she's like, oh, like she's like, I'm not like I don't fit, like my body type doesn't fit, like all this stuff, and I was like, she's definitely a crossplayer, definitely,
Yeah,
because like one of my biggest struggles, which I've crossplayed before, I like crossplaying, but like I struggle with like I have the height for it, but I like. In terms of body, I don't look anything masculine at all, even my face. So when I try to cosplay male characters, I feel like I just look like a girl. Like, and like, you know, like it's really hard to bind your chest, right? Which, by the way, she got really fucking flat for how big she is. I'm honestly surprised because I can't even get myself to look that flat. And my knockers aren't as big as hers.
It's animated, so.
I mean, that is true. That is true.
Well, and I think we should probably, because there's a lot of cosplay things that I'm gonna be like, Stella, explain, right?
Okay.
Like, just so like, so I think we'll save that for the end.
Okay.
But
okay.
like for like towards the end of the video.
Okay.
And I know everybody's thinking about it because half the reason why people like these videos is because Stella is a cosplayer and she can explain things.
I can.
This is true, but I do want to talk about like the Shinju of it all before we get into like the specifics of like the cosplay.
Yeah.
But I thought that her getting that moment to like walk out in front of Marin and Juju, and them seeing her, like I thought that was great. Like where like Juju like runs up and she's like, I didn't even recognize that was you. Right? Like she's like, you look amazing. This hits, and it's funny to watch the two separate versions of cosplayers. Like the cosplayer who knows like how, like who speaks very eloquently and knows all like the intricacies of cosplaying versus Marin. You know, like
versus Marin, yeah,
who just runs up. She's like, that looks awesome. You look so cool. Right? Like that scene is so cute where they run up and they're like, you look amazing. Oh my god. Right? And you know that meant everything to Shinju, like that she was like so happy because she was so nervous that her sister was gonna be like, oh, you look bad, or like, why are you cosplaying? This is my thing, you know, like
I don't think Juju would ever like think that, even if, you know, she did look not great, right?
She would still praise her, I guarantee you, right? She'd still be like, this is cool. Yeah, like she would want it. She's an encouraging sister. Like that's the energy that she's been giving, you know?
Yeah, and like not to mention that like, you know, Juju like probably wants to share that with her. Like share that experience, like them together cosplaying, right?
Yeah.
Because it is fun. I've cosplayed with my little sister, like who is like much younger than me. And like when we did like
planets have sisters?
Yes, you know, sister planets, right? Like, you know, sisters, not twins. Anyways. Yeah. Yes, I do have a sister. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we cosplayed, you know, Yang and Ruby together, and it was really fun, and we had a great time because we caught like just the same way as she was cosplaying. What, I don't remember what Juju was cosplaying. What character? Lily? Was her name Lily?
Lily, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Lily, and then whatever the Soma. I think Soma's the older brother name.
Yeah.
Because it's her brother. It's her older brother.
Not
right?
quite Toya.
Not quite Toya. Yeah. Not quite Toya.
Yeah.
You know, they were cosplaying siblings, right? And there's something really like cool and special about being able to cosplay siblings with your siblings.
Yeah.
Like it's really fun, right? And it's really cute because you just already have that dynamic of being siblings, and then like cosplaying siblings is like, it's just cool. Yeah, it's fun. So I don't think Juju would have ever reacted negatively in any way to Shinju cosplaying.
Yeah. I'm glad that like that Shinju has this like new sort of like outlet, right? Because like she's always been like the photographer and sort of like the social media person, right? Like, but now she also gets to be a cosplayer as well. And on top of that, you're also getting into like cross-playing as well, which is like, I assume, sort of like a whole new beast, right? So you get like a new side of cosplaying that the show can explore. I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool turn for the show, and I really dig it. And again, Shinju's great. She has probably one of the funniest moments in the show, where she almost fucking killed Gojo. I was like, oh my god, right? Where the button flies off the side and just gets embedded into the side of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
That was really funny. She was great. There is 2 scenes that I can point at where I'm like, okay, that's a little I didn't really like that. With her, where it felt more fan servicey than funny. Because the scene with the button was funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny, and so any fan service in that moment felt okay, that's understandable. In order to service that joke, right?
Yeah.
But other places, I'm like, nah.
Oh, she's 14.
Yeah,
she's
I was nah.
She's, or 13 or something. She's a middle schooler.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and
no.
I'm just like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that I didn't like. But generally speaking, this is a really solid episode. Outside of those two scenes that are 2 seconds each, 2 shots that are 2 seconds each. You're it's fine.
Yeah,
It's anime. There's gonna be fan service. I accept it. All right.
Yep.
I don't like it, but I understand.
Yeah.
But outside of that though, there is of course the cosplaying element of it, which there's a lot of cosplay stuff that happens where I'm I have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay, so I will take over from here.
Thank you.
So the very first part is they were talking about makeup when they were getting into those cosplays, right? So Juju was like, do you have lighter foundation? Do you have color corrector? Stuff like that. So the point, what was happening there is that a lighter shade of foundation would look better with that wig. Because it's such a light wig, right? And the character themselves is very pale. So going a shade lighter will help match that wig a lot better. And then the color corrector is so that way you get a more paler, you even out your skin tone, right? So it's just kind of paler all the way around. Is what essentially is what's happening. And so she's like, hey, do color corrector and then do a lighter foundation, and it will match that wig a lot nicer because it's very light. It's very pale, right? And it's just a little bit of a to help match that wig better. Because let me tell you, makeup can change how good you look in a wig. I've worn blonde wigs before. I look as normally if I was just to put on a blonde wig, I look terrible. I look absolutely terrible. My olive skin tone does not look good with a blonde wig. But if I put on makeup, it tends to look a lot better because I don't know why. It just does. It just does. And then next we have them talking about face tape again, but this time they are making Marin's eyes sharper to imitate the more matureness of the character that she's cosplaying, because she's supposed to be a kind of an older, more mature character, where Marin's eyes are very much big and round. This character has a lot more sharper eyes, so they take the eyes and pull them back a little bit to make them sharper. Now, in the West, you don't do that because it's bad. I won't get into it.
Yeah, because of obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. But it's just bad. Just don't do that. Not with your eyes, at least. Don't pull them back like that.
Yeah.
To make them more droopy, you can just don't pull them back. But other than that, then you have the whole thing with what's
Shinju?
Her name? Shinju. Yeah. I blanked.
Brain fart.
Shinju. So we had the whole problem with the chest, getting it to look flat with looking like a male body instead of a female body, right? And as we were watching this scene, and JoJo can attest for this, they were talking about it. They were like, how do we get it to look like that, right? And I go, please, for the love of God, do not get ace bandage. And right as I said ace, it popped up on the screen. Ace bandage. And I was like, fuck! Of course they did. Of course. So the reason why you don't use ace bandage to flatten yourself is because you can actually, first of all, it can cause a lot of really bad breathing problems. You can like hurt your ribs. You can actually break ribs from using ace bandage if you do it wrong. It's because what ends up happening is you constrict, and like if you keep moving around, it gets tighter and tighter. You can literally like constrict yourself. Kind of like, you know, like a snake can get tighter and tighter and tighter. It's like that.
Yikes. Right?
So it's really dangerous to actually use ace bandage. So do not do that. Do not do that. Luckily, they didn't. They were like, well, we need something else because it didn't really work. So they got a binder, which is the correct way to do it. You find a binder and you purchase it because it's meant for flattening in a safe way.
Yeah, I was glad because you kept going like, no, and I'm like, is this gonna be the first time the show got something wrong? Right? Yeah. I was like, oh no, and then they mentioned the binder or whatever. Like they said like a specific thing, but it was like a binder.
It's like a B wrap, I think it was called, or something like that.
But it was a binder.
But it was a binder. Yeah, it was a binder. And like a lot of cosplayers use binders.
Yeah, and like I like had heard the term like binder before, right? Like, so I was like, okay, I know vaguely what this is, right? So like I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like the show got it.
It helps flatten you. Yeah. So it's a way to like so a lot of times binders, what they do is they flatten you, but like, so like the front of it is going to be a lot more stiffer, and that's what's going to be pushing down. But then the back of it is much more stretchy fabric. So when you breathe, you actually have room to breathe. Unlike ace bandage where you're just wrapped up in it, and it's really restricting. So I'm glad that they did that. I'm glad they were like, but they still said they used it with the binder, which is not good.
No.
That's not good.
We'll ignore that.
Don't do that. Don't, like I said, don't use ace bandage. They called it something else, but it's ace bandage, essentially. And yeah, I think that was pretty much like the cosplay talk that we've had.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the whole episode. Again, like I said, it's never mind. I was like, it's gonna be a shorter video, and I'm like, we're at the 22-minute mark already.
Short video? What is that? We don't know. It would have been a short video if I didn't talk about cosplay.
If we didn't talk too much.
But
yeah, okay. I'm gonna end the video on that one. That was a terrible joke.
It was. I'm so sorry you had to end it that way. It has to be like this. Bye, everyone.
Bye. And there you have it, everybody. That is going to wrap it up for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot, share if you care, leave a comment down below, and of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and set notifications to all. Let all of AnyTube know that you are here. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and check out our Discord so that you can actually be notified when new videos go up. And of course, you'll also be notified when we're streaming over on the other website that starts with a D. On top of being the best way to get notified for new videos, it's also a good place to discuss with fellow anime fans and stuff like that. So if that sounds cool to you, go ahead and join us over on the Discord, link down in the description. Also linked to the description is our Patreon page, and that, along with the join button right beside the sub button, are great ways to help keep this channel afloat. You will find our Patreon page for as little as $1. You can help keep this channel running. And of course, a big thank you I have to give to our masters of masters, the true legends: Asaki VT, Elizabeth Just Elizabeth, JCran23, Jeremy P, Matt87 Eagle, Shadow Creative, Shiorins, Stephen G, Stevie W, Trapmaster, Trevor W, and Tristan G. Thank you all so much for being so freaking cool. I really love and appreciate all of you guys for your tremendous support of this channel. And if you too would like to have your name shouted out at the end of videos, once again, go check out that Patreon link in the description, or hit the join button right beside the sub button. Either way helps out a ton. And that's it for me. So until next time, clean your room. Just trust me, a clean room is a clean mind. Maybe do some Tai Chi. Drink lots of water and brush your teeth. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.